As you settle comfortably into your evening rest, feeling your body relax into the softness of your bed, take a moment to notice the gentle boundary between you and the world around you. Right there, covering every inch of your form, like the most sophisticated blanket ever woven, lies your skin, the remarkable frontier that defines where you end and the universe begins. Tonight, we begin our peaceful journey through the human body at this beautiful border, this living membrane that has protected and served you every moment of your life. As you breathe slowly and deeply, feeling the cool air against your face, remember that your skin is not merely a wrapper, but a complex living universe in itself. The body's largest organ, a masterpiece of biological engineering that makes your very existence possible. Imagine, if you will, that you could shrink down and walk across the landscape of your own arm. What you might think of as smooth skin would reveal itself as a vast, rolling terrain of gentle hills and valleys. The tiny lines and creases you can barely see with your naked eye would become great canyons and ridges, each one telling the story of your life through movement and expression. Your skin, measured at roughly 2 square meters if you could lay it flat, weighs about 8 pounds, more than your brain, more than your liver. It's a living tapestry woven from billions of cells, constantly renewing itself in a peaceful rhythm that never stops, never rests, never takes a vacation from caring for you. Every month, your entire outer layer regenerates, quietly shedding the old and growing the new, like a tree that changes its leaves not with the seasons, but with the gentle passage of days. As you lie there tonight, feeling the warmth of your blankets against your skin, realize that you're experiencing one of your body's most sophisticated sensory networks in action. Embedded throughout this protective frontier are millions of nerve endings, tiny sentinels that stand guard at the border between your inner world and everything beyond. These microscopic guardians can detect the softest touch, the slightest change in temperature, the most delicate vibration. If we could zoom in closer, diving deeper into this frontier landscape, we'd discover a world that resembles an enchanted forest. Hair follicles rise like gentle hillocks from the surface, each one a complex root system extending deep into the layers below. Around each follicle, tiny muscles wait in readiness, the same muscles that give you goosebumps when you're cold or moved by beauty. They're contracting gently right now, adjusting the angle of each hair to help regulate your body temperature as you rest. Between these follicular forests, we find the oases of your sweat glands, remarkable spiral structures that descend like cool springs deep into your skin's foundation. There are between 2 and 4 million of these tiny climate control systems scattered across your body, each one capable of producing the perfect cooling droplets when you need them. Tonight, as you lie in comfortable rest, they work in quiet harmony to maintain your ideal temperature, opening and closing their microscopic gates in response to signals from deep within your body. The architecture of your skin reveals itself in 3 magnificent layers, each with its own purpose, its own rhythm, its own contribution to your well-being. The epidermis, the outermost layer that you can touch right now, is actually composed of several sublayers, like the pages of an ancient manuscript written in the language of protection. The cells here are born deep at the bottom of this layer and spend their lives on a month-long journey upward, gradually flattening and filling with keratin, the same protein that makes up your hair and nails. By the time these cells reach the surface, they have transformed into something almost crystalline, thin, overlapping scales that create a barrier more effective than any armor ever designed by human hands. These outermost cells, though technically no longer living, continue to serve you faithfully, protecting the vibrant life beneath from moisture loss, harmful radiation, and the countless microscopic challenges of the outside world. Beneath this protective layer lies the dermis, the true heart of your skin's universe. If the epidermis is the fortress wall, then the dermis is the bustling city within. Here, in a landscape that looks like an underwater garden, collagen fibers weave together like strong, flexible cables, giving your skin its strength and elasticity. These protein fibers, more resilient than steel wire of the same thickness, create a three-dimensional web that allows your skin to stretch when you move, then return to its original form when you're still. Woven throughout this collagen matrix are the golden threads of elastin, proteins that give your skin its ability to bounce back from every touch, every expression, every gentle pressure. Together, collagen and elastin create a living fabric that has protected and served you through every moment of your life, from your first breath to this peaceful evening as you prepare for rest. The dermis pulses with life in ways that might surprise you. Networks of blood vessels wind through this layer like warm rivers, carrying oxygen and nutrients to every cell, while washing away waste products in an endless cycle of renewal. These microscopic rivers respond to your body's needs moment by moment, dilating when you need to cool down, contracting when you need to conserve heat, always working to maintain the perfect internal environment for your well-being. The deepest layer of your skin, the hypodermis, serves as the gentle cushion between your skin proper and the structures beneath. Here, fat cells nestle together like soft pillows, providing insulation and protection for the delicate tissues of your body. This layer acts as your body's energy savings account, storing resources for times of need, while also serving as a shock absorber that protects you from the inevitable bumps and pressures of daily life. But perhaps most remarkable of all are the sensory capabilities of this frontier organ. Your skin contains an estimated 5 million nerve endings, more than 5 times the population of many major cities. These microscopic sensors are specialized for different types of detection. Some respond only to light touch, others to pressure, still others to temperature or vibration. They work together like an orchestra, each playing their part in creating the rich symphony of sensation that connects you to the world around you. The nerve endings that detect gentle touch are so sensitive they can feel the footsteps of a fly walking across your arm. Those that respond to pressure can distinguish between the weight of a feather and the weight of a coin. Your temperature sensors can detect changes as small as a few hundredths of a degree, while your vibration detectors can feel oscillations so subtle they would be invisible to the naked eye. Right now, as you rest comfortably, these millions of sensors are painting a constantly updated picture of your immediate environment. They're telling your brain about the softness of your pillow, the warmth of your blankets, the gentle movement of air across your face. They're creating the sensory foundation that allows you to feel safe, comfortable, and connected to the physical world, even as your mind prepares to drift into sleep. Your skin also serves as your body's first line of immune defense. Living within its layers are specialized immune cells that patrol like gentle guardians, monitoring for anything that doesn't belong. These Langerhans cells, named after the scientist who first discovered them, have long branching arms that they extend throughout the tissue, constantly sampling their environment and ready to sound the alarm if they detect any threat to your well-being. The surface of your skin hosts its own ecosystem, a microscopic community of beneficial bacteria that work in partnership with your body's natural defenses. This skin microbiome, unique to each individual like a biological fingerprint, helps maintain the proper pH balance and competes with harmful organisms that might otherwise find a foothold. It's a peaceful collaboration that has been evolving for millions of years, a testament to the body's wisdom in creating alliances rather than simply building walls. As you prepare for sleep tonight, your skin continues its endless work of renewal and protection. Deep in the follicles, new hair cells are forming. In the sweat glands, the next day's cooling system is being prepared. Throughout every layer, cells are dividing, proteins are being synthesized, and the complex chemistry of life is proceeding in its gentle, inexorable rhythm. Your skin remembers every touch it has ever received, not consciously, but in the way it has adapted and changed over the years. The calluses on your hands tell the story of the work you do. The lines around your eyes speak of years of laughter and concentration. The scars, if you have them, are medals of honor, proof of your skin's remarkable ability to heal and restore itself even after injury. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, take a moment to appreciate this remarkable boundary that has been your faithful companion since before your first breath. In your mother's womb, your skin was among the first organs to develop, and it will be among the last to serve you throughout your entire life. It grows with you, heals with you, and protects you through every season and every challenge. Rest now in the knowledge that you are beautifully, thoroughly protected. Your skin, this living frontier, this responsive barrier, this sensory gateway, continues its quiet work while you sleep, maintaining the perfect boundary between your inner universe and the vast cosmos beyond. In its gentle embrace, you are safe to let go, to rest, and to trust in the wisdom of the remarkable body that carries you through each day of your extraordinary life. As we conclude this first part of our journey, know that tomorrow we will venture deeper, following the rivers of life that flow just beneath this protective frontier, carrying nutrients and messages to every corner of your being. But for now, rest peacefully at the edge of yourself, grateful for the magnificent boundary that makes all of life's inner miracles possible. Rivers of life, following the circulatory system's gentle flow. As you settle into another peaceful evening, feeling your body sink comfortably into rest, place your hand gently over your heart and feel that steady, reassuring rhythm that has accompanied you through every moment of your life. Tonight, we journey deeper than the protective frontier of your skin, following the most beautiful transportation network ever conceived. The rivers of life that flow continuously through your body, carrying sustenance, messages, and the very essence of vitality to every cell in your being. Your heart, no larger than your closed fist, beats approximately 100,000 times each day without you ever having to think about it. As you lie there now, feeling its gentle percussion against your ribs, realize that this remarkable muscle has already beaten over 2.5 billion times in your lifetime, and it will continue its faithful rhythm as you drift peacefully into sleep tonight. Imagine, if you will, that you could shrink down to the size of a red blood cell and embark on a journey through your circulatory system. You would find yourself in a world more vast and intricate than any river system on Earth, with over 60,000 miles of blood vessels winding through your body, enough to wrap around the Earth 2.5 times, all contained within the gentle boundaries of your resting form. Your journey would begin in the heart itself, that magnificent 4-chambered palace that serves as both origin and destination of every drop of blood in your body. The heart is actually 2 pumps working in perfect synchronization, the right side sending blood to your lungs for the precious gift of oxygen, while the left side receives that oxygen-rich blood and propels it on its life-giving journey throughout your entire being. As you rest tonight, your heart is performing this double symphony with the most exquisite timing. The 2 upper chambers, the atria, fill gently like cupped hands receiving water, while the 2 lower chambers, the ventricles, contract with just enough force to send blood surging forward through your vessels. The sound of your heartbeat, that familiar lub-dub you can hear in the quietest moments, is actually the sound of your heart's valves closing, ensuring that blood always flows in the right direction through this most important of all your body's highways. If you were to travel with a drop of blood leaving your heart's left ventricle, you would first enter the aorta, the great highway of your circulatory system. This magnificent vessel, about as wide as a garden hose, arches gracefully upward from your heart before curving down to travel the length of your torso. The walls of the aorta are marvels of biological engineering, thick, elastic, and incredibly strong. They expand slightly with each heartbeat, storing some of the energy from your heart's contraction, then gently recoil to help push blood forward even between beats. This elastic recoil is one of the most beautiful examples of your body's efficiency. Your arteries don't just passively carry blood, they actively participate in circulation, their walls pulsing in harmony with your heartbeat to ensure that blood reaches every destination with just the right pressure and timing. You can feel this arterial pulse at your wrist or neck, a gentle reminder of the continuous river of life flowing just beneath your skin. As the aorta branches into smaller arteries, you would find yourself traveling through vessels that gradually narrow but become increasingly numerous, like a great river delta spreading out across a vast landscape. The muscular walls of these smaller arteries can contract or relax in response to your body's needs, directing more blood to areas that require extra oxygen and nutrients. Right now, as you rest comfortably, more blood is flowing to your digestive system and brain, while less is needed by your muscles, demonstrating your body's remarkable ability to allocate resources exactly where they're needed most. Your journey would continue into the arterioles, vessels so small that they can only be seen with a microscope, yet so important that they serve as the fine-tuning mechanism of your entire circulatory system. These tiny vessels have muscular walls that can adjust their diameter moment by moment, like traffic controllers managing the flow of life through your tissues. They respond to chemical signals, nerve impulses, and even the mechanical pressure of blood itself, constantly making minute adjustments to ensure perfect circulation. Finally, you would enter the capillaries, the smallest and most numerous vessels in your body, so thin that their walls are only 1 cell thick. If you could count all the capillaries in your body, you would find approximately 40 billion of these microscopic tubes, creating a network so dense that no cell in your body is more than a few thousandths of an inch away from its nearest capillary. In these tiniest of vessels, the real magic of circulation occurs. Here, in spaces so small that red blood cells must travel single file, the precious cargo your blood has been carrying finally reaches its destination. Oxygen molecules slip through the thin capillary walls into the surrounding tissues, while carbon dioxide and other waste products move in the opposite direction, entering your bloodstream to be carried away for disposal. This exchange happens through the most elegant process imaginable: simple diffusion, the natural tendency of molecules to move from areas of high concentration to areas of low concentration. No pumps are needed, no complex machinery required. The wisdom of your body has created a system where the fundamental laws of physics do the work, allowing nutrients to flow naturally to where they're needed most. The capillaries of different organs are specialized for their particular functions, like custom-designed tools perfectly suited for specific tasks. In your lungs, the capillaries are arranged in tiny clusters around air sacs, creating maximum surface area for the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. In your kidneys, they form intricate filtering units that clean your blood thousands of times each day. In your brain, they have special, tight connections between their cells, creating a protective barrier that keeps harmful substances from entering your most precious organ, while still allowing essential nutrients to pass through. As your journey continues beyond the capillaries, you would enter the venous system, the return pathway that carries blood back to your heart. This part of your circulatory system is often less celebrated than the arterial side, but it's equally remarkable. Your veins are larger and more numerous than your arteries, creating a vast reservoir that holds about 60% of your blood at any given time. The journey back to your heart faces a unique challenge: how to move blood upward against the pull of gravity, especially from your feet and legs. Your body has solved this problem with ingenious simplicity. Throughout your veins are one-way valves that allow blood to flow toward your heart, but prevent it from flowing backward. When you walk, the contraction of your leg muscles squeezes these veins, pushing blood upward from valve to valve like water rising through a series of locks in a canal. Even now, as you lie still, this system continues to work. Through the gentle pressure changes created by your breathing, each time you inhale, the pressure in your chest decreases slightly, helping to draw blood back to your heart. Your diaphragm acts like a gentle pump, assisting circulation even while you rest. The largest veins in your body, the superior and inferior vena cava, serve as the great gathering rivers that collect blood from your upper and lower body respectively, delivering it back to your heart's right atrium to begin the cycle anew. These vessels are thin-walled and expandable, able to accommodate changes in blood volume and serving as a flexible reservoir that helps maintain steady circulation regardless of your position or activity level. Your blood itself is a liquid tissue more complex and precious than any substance ever created in a laboratory. About 55% of your blood is plasma, a golden fluid that serves as the transport medium for everything your cells need to survive. Dissolved in this plasma are proteins, hormones, nutrients, electrolytes, and countless other substances, each one precisely regulated to maintain the delicate balance necessary for life. The remaining 45% of your blood consists of cells, primarily red blood cells, but also white blood cells and platelets, each type serving essential functions in your body's continuous operation. Your red blood cells are perhaps the most specialized cells in your body, having given up their nucleus and most internal structures to make room for hemoglobin, the remarkable protein that carries oxygen. Each red blood cell contains about 280 million hemoglobin molecules, and each hemoglobin molecule can carry up to 4 oxygen atoms, making these tiny cells incredibly efficient oxygen transporters. The shape of red blood cells is another marvel of biological engineering. Their distinctive biconcave disc shape, like a donut with a thin center instead of a hole, gives them maximum surface area for gas exchange, while also making them flexible enough to squeeze through capillaries narrower than their own diameter. They tumble and fold as they travel through your smallest vessels, always reforming their perfect shape once they reach larger spaces. Your blood's journey through your lungs deserves special mention, as this is where the miraculous transformation from waste-carrying venous blood to life-giving arterial blood occurs. In the pulmonary capillaries, wrapped around millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli, your blood comes into intimate contact with the air you breathe. The surface area available for this gas exchange is enormous, about 70 square meters, roughly the size of a tennis court, all folded into the space of your 2 lungs. Here, carbon dioxide diffuses out of your blood into your lungs to be exhaled, while oxygen moves in the opposite direction, binding to hemoglobin molecules that change color from dark red to bright red as they become oxygenated. This newly refreshed blood returns to your heart's left side, ready to begin another circuit through your body, carrying its precious cargo of oxygen to every cell that needs it. The temperature regulation provided by your circulatory system is another of its remarkable functions. Blood flow to your skin can be increased to help you cool down, or decreased to help you retain heat, all managed automatically by your body's internal thermostat. Right now, as you lie comfortably in your bed, your circulatory system is making constant small adjustments to maintain your ideal body temperature, ensuring that you remain comfortable throughout the night. Perhaps most remarkable of all is the healing power of your circulatory system. When you're injured, your blood vessels can quickly constrict to minimize bleeding, while platelets rush to form protective clots. Your blood carries immune cells to fight infection, nutrients to rebuild damaged tissue, and specialized proteins that orchestrate the complex process of healing. Even the smallest cut triggers a cascade of precisely coordinated responses that restore your body to wholeness. Tonight, as you rest in the gentle embrace of sleep, take a moment to marvel at the rivers of life flowing peacefully through your body. Every heartbeat sends waves of nourishment to billions of cells. Every breath refreshes your blood with oxygen. Every moment, your circulatory system performs millions of acts of service, maintaining the delicate balance that keeps you alive and well. Rest now, in the knowledge that you are supported by this most faithful of all your body's systems. As you sleep, your heart will slow to its gentlest rhythm. Your blood pressure will ease to its most restful levels, and your circulation will continue its endless work of renewal and care. In the morning, you will awaken refreshed and restored, ready for another day of life, carried forward by the same rivers of life that have flowed through your body since your very first heartbeat. Tomorrow, we will follow the lightning-fast pathways of your nervous system, exploring how electrical signals carry messages throughout your body faster than thought itself. But for now, let the steady rhythm of your heartbeat be your lullaby, and rest peacefully in the flowing embrace of your body's most essential rivers. The neural network. Traveling the lightning pathways of consciousness. Take a moment to notice something extraordinary happening right now. The thoughts flowing through your mind, the sensations of comfort and warmth, the very awareness that allows you to experience this moment. Tonight we embark on the most mysterious and magnificent journey of all, following the electrical pathways of your nervous system, the lightning-fast network that creates the miracle of consciousness itself. Your nervous system is perhaps the most complex structure in the known universe. Within the 3 pounds of your brain lie approximately 86 billion neurons, more than the number of stars in the Milky Way galaxy. Each of these nerve cells connects to thousands of others, creating a network of such staggering complexity that it contains more possible connections than there are atoms in the observable universe. Yet, for all its complexity, your nervous system operates with a kind of electrical poetry, conducting symphonies of signals that flow faster than thought, creating the seamless experience of being you. Right now, as you read these words, millions of neurons are firing in precise patterns, transforming symbols on a page into meaning, into emotion, into the rich inner landscape of your consciousness. Imagine beginning our journey in the cathedral of your skull, where your brain rests like a masterpiece of living architecture. If you could walk through the corridors of your cerebral cortex, you would find yourself in a landscape unlike anything else on Earth, a folded world of grey and white matter, where the grey consists of neuron cell bodies clustered together like ancient cities, and the white represents the highways of nerve fibers that connect these neural metropolises. The folding of your brain's surface is itself a marvel of biological engineering. If you could smooth out all the wrinkles and folds of your cerebral cortex, it would cover an area about the size of a large pizza, roughly 2.5 square feet of neural real estate, all compressed into the space of your skull through elegant folding. These folds, called gyri and sulci, allow maximum surface area for neural processing, while fitting into the protective embrace of your cranium. Your brain operates on less power than a dim light bulb, about 20 watts of electrical energy. Yet within this modest power consumption lies the source of every thought you've ever had, every memory you cherish, every dream that has ever graced your sleep. The efficiency of this biological computer is staggering. It processes information, creates memories, generates emotions, and maintains your body's countless functions while using less electricity than it takes to power a single LED bulb. The neurons themselves are like tiny trees made of electricity and chemistry. Each one has a cell body containing the nucleus and most of the cellular machinery, branching dendrites that reach out like delicate fingers to receive signals from other neurons, and a single axon that carries messages away from the cell body to other parts of the network. Some of these axons are microscopic, connecting nearby neurons, while others stretch for several feet, carrying signals from your brain all the way down your spinal cord to your toes. The magic of neural communication happens at the synapses, the tiny gaps between neurons where electrical signals transform into chemical messages and back again. When an electrical impulse reaches the end of an axon, it triggers the release of neurotransmitters, chemical messengers that drift across the synaptic gap, like molecular poems carrying specific meanings. On the receiving side, these chemical signals are converted back into electrical impulses, continuing the lightning-fast cascade of communication. Your brain contains approximately 100 trillion synapses, each one a microscopic decision point where signals can be enhanced, diminished, or blocked entirely. This vast network of switches and connections creates the flexibility that allows you to learn, remember, and adapt throughout your entire life. Even now, as you rest quietly, new connections are being formed, while others are being refined or eliminated. Your brain constantly reshaping itself in response to your experiences. The different regions of your brain work together like instruments in the most sophisticated orchestra ever assembled. Your frontal lobe houses your executive functions, planning, decision-making, and the higher reasoning that makes you uniquely human. Your temporal lobes process sound and language while storing many of your memories. Your parietal lobe integrates sensory information from throughout your body, creating your sense of physical presence in space. Your occipital lobe transforms the light patterns entering your eyes into the rich visual experience of the world around you. Deep within your brain lie structures that govern the most fundamental aspects of your existence. Your hypothalamus, no larger than an almond, controls body temperature, hunger, thirst, and sleep cycles. Your hippocampus, shaped like a tiny seahorse, helps form new memories and connects them with emotions. Your amygdala processes fear and other strong emotions, while your brainstem controls the vital functions that keep you alive, breathing, heart rate, and blood pressure, without any conscious effort on your part. From your brain, the spinal cord extends like a great trunk line of neural communication, carrying messages between your brain and the rest of your body. Protected by the bony vertebrae of your spine and cushioned by cerebrospinal fluid, your spinal cord contains about 13.5 million neurons, organized into precise pathways. Some of these pathways carry sensory information upward to your brain, while others carry motor commands downward to your muscles. The speed of neural transmission is breathtaking. The fastest nerve fibers in your body can conduct signals at speeds up to 270 miles per hour. Fast enough that a signal from your brain can reach your toe in about 20 milliseconds. This incredible speed is made possible by myelin, a fatty substance that wraps around many nerve fibers like electrical insulation, allowing signals to jump from gap to gap rather than traveling continuously along the entire length of the fiber. Branching out from your spinal cord, like the roots of an enormous tree, your peripheral nervous system extends to every corner of your body. 31 pairs of spinal nerves emerge from your spinal cord, each one branching and subdividing until every square inch of your body is connected to your central command center. These nerves carry both sensory information toward your brain and motor commands away from it, creating a two-way communication network of remarkable sophistication. Your autonomic nervous system operates largely below the level of conscious awareness, controlling the vital functions that keep you alive and healthy. This system has two main branches that work in elegant balance: the sympathetic nervous system, which prepares your body for action and stress, and the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes rest, digestion, and healing. Right now, as you lie comfortably preparing for sleep, your parasympathetic system is gently taking control, slowing your heart rate, deepening your breathing, and preparing your body for the restorative work of sleep. The sensory capabilities of your nervous system are nothing short of miraculous. Your eyes contain about 120 million photoreceptors that convert light into electrical signals, creating a continuous stream of visual information that your brain transforms into the rich, three-dimensional, color-filled experience of sight. Your ears detect vibrations in the air and translate them into the full spectrum of sound, from the softest whisper to the most complex symphony. Your sense of touch, distributed throughout your skin, can detect pressure differences as small as the weight of a fly's wing. Perhaps most remarkable is how your brain integrates all this sensory information into a seamless experience of reality. The red color of a rose, the sound of rain on the roof, the warmth of sunlight on your face. None of these sensations exist in the outside world. They are creations of your nervous system, electrochemical patterns transformed into the rich qualia that make up your conscious experience. Your brain's ability to create and store memories represents one of the most profound mysteries in science. When you form a memory, physical changes occur in your neural networks. New connections form, existing connections strengthen or weaken, and patterns of activity become encoded in the structure of your brain itself. Some memories are stored for mere seconds, while others last a lifetime, their neural patterns becoming so deeply embedded that they can be triggered by the slightest reminder. The process of sleep reveals another miraculous aspect of your nervous system. As you drift into slumber tonight, your brain doesn't simply shut down. It enters a different mode of operation, one that's essential for memory consolidation, emotional processing, and physical restoration. During sleep, your brain waves synchronize into slower, deeper patterns, and your neurons fire in coordinated bursts that help strengthen important memories while clearing away unnecessary information. Your dreams represent perhaps the most mysterious aspect of neural activity. During REM sleep, your brain becomes almost as active as it is when you're awake, creating complex narratives and experiences from the spontaneous firing of neurons. These dream experiences can feel completely real while they're happening, demonstrating the power of your nervous system to create convincing realities from pure neural activity. The plasticity of your nervous system, its ability to change and adapt throughout your life, is one of its most hopeful characteristics. New neurons continue to be born in certain parts of your brain, even in adulthood, and existing neurons can form new connections and pathways throughout your entire life. This means that your brain is never fixed or unchangeable. It's always capable of learning, growing, and healing in response to your experiences and choices. Your nervous system also demonstrates the most exquisite sensitivity to rhythm and timing. Many of your neurons fire not randomly, but in synchronized patterns that create brainwaves, rhythmic oscillations that can be measured with sensitive instruments. These brainwaves change depending on your state of consciousness, alert and focused during the day, gradually slowing as you relax, and shifting into the deeper rhythms of sleep as you drift off to night. The electrical nature of neural activity means that your brain generates its own electromagnetic field, a subtle but measurable energy signature that is uniquely yours. This field fluctuates constantly as different patterns of neurons fire, creating an ever-changing electromagnetic symphony that reflects the activity of your consciousness itself. Your nervous system's connection to every other system in your body reveals its role as the ultimate coordinator of your biological symphony. Neural signals regulate your heartbeat, control your breathing, coordinate the complex movements of walking, and manage the intricate chemistry of digestion. Your brain receives constant reports about the state of your body and makes thousands of adjustments each minute to maintain optimal function. The pain system of your nervous system, while sometimes unpleasant, serves as a sophisticated protective mechanism. Pain signals travel along specific pathways to alert you to potential damage. But your brain also has its own pain relief systems, producing natural opioids and other chemicals that can reduce suffering when necessary. Even more remarkably, your brain can sometimes block pain signals entirely through the power of attention, emotion, or expectation. Your nervous system's role in creating emotions reveals another layer of its complexity. Emotions aren't just mental experiences, they're whole body phenomena that involve changes in heart rate, breathing, muscle tension, and hormone production. The neural networks that process emotions are deeply interconnected with those that form memories, which is why emotional experiences are often the most vivid and long-lasting in your memory. The social aspects of your nervous system are equally fascinating. Special neurons called mirror neurons fire both when you perform an action and when you observe someone else performing the same action. These cells may form the basis of empathy, imitation, and the deep social connections that make human relationships possible. Your brain is literally wired to understand and connect with other minds. As you prepare for sleep tonight, your nervous system begins its nightly ritual of restoration and maintenance. Your brain's glymphatic system, a waste-clearing mechanism that becomes more active during sleep, will flush away toxins and metabolic byproducts that have accumulated during the day. Your memories will be consolidated, with important experiences being transferred from temporary to more permanent storage. The rhythms of your sleep will be orchestrated by neural networks that have evolved over millions of years to synchronize your internal biology with the cycles of day and night. Your pineal gland will release melatonin in response to neural signals, helping to guide you into the restorative depths of sleep. Your body temperature will drop slightly, your heart rate will slow, and your breathing will deepen as neural commands adjust every aspect of your physiology for optimal rest. Tonight, as you surrender to sleep, know that your nervous system will continue its vigilant watch over your well-being. Even in the deepest sleep, neural sentries remain alert to important sounds or sensations that might require your attention. Your brainstem will maintain the vital rhythms of breathing and circulation. Your hypothalamus will regulate your body temperature and prepare you for the coming day. Rest peacefully in the knowledge that you are guided by the most sophisticated information processing system in the known universe. Every sensation you feel, every thought that crosses your mind, every dream that visits your sleep is a gift from this remarkable network of living electricity. Your nervous system connects you to the world around you while creating the rich inner world of consciousness that makes you uniquely, wonderfully you. Tomorrow, we will venture even deeper into the microscopic cities where individual cells carry out the fundamental processes of life itself. But for now, let your neural networks ease into the gentle rhythms of sleep, secure in the embrace of the electrical symphony that creates and sustains the miracle of your conscious experience. Cellular cities, descending to the microscopic universe within. As you settle into the deepest comfort of this quiet evening, feeling your body completely relaxed and your mind gently focused, prepare to embark on the most intimate part of our journey through your body. Tonight, we descend from the highways of circulation and the lightning pathways of nerves into the microscopic universe where life truly begins. The realm of your individual cells, those tiny cities of existence that work together in perfect harmony to create the magnificent being that is you. Right now, as you rest peacefully, approximately 37 trillion cells are carrying out their individual roles in the grand symphony of your existence. Each one is a complete world unto itself, yet perfectly coordinated with all the others, creating a biological collaboration so complex and beautiful that it surpasses any human achievement in organization and efficiency. To truly appreciate the scale of this cellular universe, imagine that a single cell from your body were enlarged to the size of a great city. In this cellular metropolis, the structures we'll explore would tower like skyscrapers, the chemical pathways would flow like busy streets, and the molecular machines would work like perfectly coordinated teams of microscopic workers, each one knowing exactly what to do and when to do it. Let us begin our exploration at the boundary of each cellular city, the cell membrane, that remarkable barrier that defines where each cell begins and ends. This membrane is not merely a static wall, but a dynamic, living interface that selectively allows certain molecules to enter while keeping others out. Only about 7 nanometers thick, so thin that 10,000 of them stacked together would be thinner than a human hair. This membrane performs feats of molecular recognition and transport that put our most sophisticated technology to shame. The membrane itself is composed of billions of lipid molecules arranged in a double layer, like a molecular sandwich, with water-loving heads facing outward and water-avoiding tails tucked safely inside. Floating within this lipid sea are thousands of protein structures, some spanning the entire thickness of the membrane, others anchored to one side or the other. These proteins serve as gates, pumps, sensors, and identification badges, each one perfectly designed for its specific function. Passing through this cellular boundary, we enter the cytoplasm, the bustling interior space of the cell, filled with a gel-like substance that's about 70% water. This isn't static water, but rather a dynamic medium teeming with dissolved nutrients, ions, and thousands of different types of molecules, all in constant motion due to the thermal energy that keeps every atom and molecule in perpetual microscopic dance. Suspended within this cellular ocean is a three-dimensional scaffold called the cytoskeleton, a network of protein filaments that gives each cell its shape and provides highways for transporting materials from one part of the cell to another. These protein fibers are constantly assembling and disassembling, growing longer or shorter as the cell's needs change, creating a dynamic architecture that can reshape itself moment by moment. Traveling along these cytoskeletal highways are molecular motors, proteins that literally walk step by step along the filaments, carrying cargo from one cellular destination to another. These motors, with names like dynin and kinesin, use chemical energy to power their mechanical movements, taking thousands of steps per second as they transport vesicles, organelles, and other cellular components to exactly where they're needed. The most magnificent structure in our cellular city is undoubtedly the nucleus, the command center where the cell's genetic information is stored and managed. Surrounded by its own double membrane, the nuclear envelope, this cellular library contains nearly 2 meters of DNA, somehow packaged into a space only a few micrometers across. The nuclear envelope is punctuated by thousands of nuclear pores, sophisticated gateways that control the flow of information and materials between the nucleus and the rest of the cell. Within the nucleus, the DNA exists not as neat separated strands, but as part of a complex called chromatin, a mixture of DNA, proteins, and RNA that looks like a tangled mass of molecular spaghetti. This apparent chaos is actually highly organized, with different regions of DNA being made accessible or inaccessible, depending on what proteins the cell needs to produce at any given moment. The process of gene expression, the way cells use their DNA instructions to make proteins, is like watching a molecular ballet of extraordinary precision. When a particular protein is needed, specific regions of DNA are unwound and made accessible to molecular machines called RNA polymerases. These enzymes read the DNA sequence like sheet music, creating RNA copies that carry the genetic instructions out of the nucleus to the protein-making machinery in the cytoplasm. Outside the nucleus, we find the endoplasmic reticulum, or ER, a vast network of membrane-bound tubes and sacs that extends throughout much of the cell's interior. The rough ER, studded with ribosomes that give it its bumpy appearance, serves as the cell's protein factory. Here, newly made proteins are folded into their proper three-dimensional shapes, modified with various chemical tags, and prepared for their specific functions. The smooth ER, lacking ribosomes, specializes in lipid synthesis and detoxification. In liver cells, the smooth ER works tirelessly to break down toxins and drugs, protecting your body from harmful substances. In other cells, it produces the lipids needed for membrane repair and the steroid hormones that regulate countless bodily functions. Connected to the ER is the Golgi apparatus, the cell's packaging and shipping center. This stack of flattened membrane sacs receives proteins from the ER, processes them further, packages them into membrane-bound vesicles, and ships them to their final destinations, whether that's elsewhere within the cell, embedded in the cell membrane, or secreted outside the cell entirely. The powerhouses of our cellular cities are the mitochondria, remarkable organelles that were once free-living bacteria, but became permanent residents of our cells through an ancient partnership that benefits both parties. Each mitochondrion is like a miniature power plant, using oxygen to burn glucose and other fuels, capturing the released energy in molecules of ATP, the universal energy currency of life. Your cells contain anywhere from hundreds to thousands of mitochondria each, depending on their energy needs. Heart muscle cells, which work continuously throughout your life, are packed with mitochondria to fuel their constant contractions. Brain cells, which consume about 20% of your body's total energy despite representing only 2% of your body weight, also contain abundant mitochondria to power their intensive neural processing. The mitochondria have their own DNA separate from the nuclear DNA, and they reproduce independently within your cells by dividing in two. This mitochondrial DNA is inherited exclusively from your mother, creating an unbroken maternal lineage that can be traced back through countless generations to the very origins of complex life on Earth. Throughout the cytoplasm, we also find lysosomes, the cellular recycling centers that digest worn-out organelles, break down cellular waste, and destroy harmful substances. These membrane-bound organelles are filled with powerful digestive enzymes that can break down almost any biological molecule. The lysosomal membrane keeps these enzymes safely contained until they're needed, preventing them from digesting the cell itself. The process of autophagy, cellular self-digestion, represents one of the most elegant examples of cellular maintenance. When parts of the cell become damaged or worn out, they're wrapped in membrane and delivered to lysosomes for recycling. The components are broken down into their basic building blocks, which are then returned to the cytoplasm to be used in building new cellular structures. This process of constant renewal means that most of your cellular components are replaced regularly. In many ways, you have a new body every few months at the cellular level. Plant cells, which you don't have, but which provide the oxygen you breathe and much of the food you eat, contain additional structures called chloroplasts. Like mitochondria, these were once free-living bacteria that entered into partnership with plant cells. Chloroplasts contain the molecular machinery of photosynthesis, capturing light energy and using it to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen, the process that ultimately powers most life on Earth. The coordination between all these cellular structures is orchestrated by an incredibly complex network of chemical signals. Hormones arriving from distant parts of your body bind to specific receptors on the cell's surface, triggering cascades of internal signals that can alter gene expression, modify protein activity, and redirect the cell's metabolism. Growth factors tell cells when to divide, while other signals tell them when to differentiate into specialized cell types, or even when to die for the greater good of the organism. Cell division itself is a marvel of biological precision. When a cell needs to reproduce, it first duplicates its DNA, ensuring that each daughter cell will receive a complete copy of the genetic instructions. The duplicated chromosomes are then lined up at the center of the cell by a structure called the spindle apparatus, a temporary cage made of protein filaments that ensures each chromosome copy goes to the correct daughter cell. The actual division process involves the coordinated action of thousands of proteins, each playing a specific role in the cellular drama of reproduction. The cell membrane pinches inward, eventually separating the single cell into two identical daughters, each one carrying the full complement of cellular machinery needed for independent life. Different types of cells in your body have specialized for specific functions while maintaining the basic cellular architecture we've explored. Red blood cells have eliminated their nucleus and most organelles to make room for maximum oxygen carrying capacity. Neurons have extended long projections called axons to carry electrical signals over great distances. Muscle cells have packed themselves with contractile proteins that can generate force and movement. Skin cells continuously divide and migrate upward, eventually flattening and dying to form the protective barrier we explored in our first journey. Immune cells patrol your body like microscopic security guards, recognizing and destroying anything that doesn't belong. Stem cells retain the remarkable ability to transform into any other type of cell your body needs, serving as a cellular fountain of youth that can repair and replace damaged tissues throughout your life. The communication between cells is as sophisticated as the internal workings of individual cells. Cells constantly send chemical messages to their neighbors, coordinating their activities and responding to changing conditions. Some cells form direct connections called gap junctions, allowing small molecules to pass freely between them. Others communicate through the release of signaling molecules that can influence cells at varying distances. In your brain, the synaptic communication between neurons involves the precise release of neurotransmitters from one cell and their detection by specific receptors on another cell. This chemical signaling is so fast and precise that it allows your neurons to process information and coordinate responses in milliseconds. Your immune system demonstrates cellular cooperation on a grand scale, with different types of immune cells working together to protect you from infection and disease. Some cells patrol your tissues looking for invaders. Others present foreign substances to specialized cells that coordinate immune responses. And still others remember previous encounters to provide faster protection if the same threat appears again. Even as you rest tonight, your cells continue their tireless work. In your bone marrow, stem cells are dividing to produce new blood cells that will replace those that have reached the end of their lifespan. In your liver, hepatocytes are processing nutrients from your last meal, storing some for later use and converting others into forms your body can utilize. In your muscles, cells are repairing the microscopic damage from the day's activities, making you stronger and more resilient. Your skin cells are working their way upward through the layers of your epidermis, eventually reaching the surface where they'll form part of the protective barrier that shields your inner universe from the external world. Your digestive cells are producing the enzymes and hormones needed for tomorrow's meals, while your kidney cells filter your blood and adjust the balance of water and electrolytes to maintain perfect internal conditions. The cellular clocks that regulate these processes are synchronized with the natural rhythms of day and night through molecular mechanisms of stunning elegance. Special clock proteins increase and decrease in concentration with roughly 24-hour cycles, controlling when different genes are active and when various cellular processes occur. These circadian rhythms ensure that your cellular activities are coordinated not just with each other, but with the rotation of the Earth itself. As you prepare for sleep tonight, many of your cells are also preparing for their own periods of rest and renewal. Growth hormone released during deep sleep will stimulate cellular repair and regeneration. Your brain cells will increase their production of proteins involved in memory consolidation and synaptic maintenance. Throughout your body, the cellular machinery of repair and renewal works most actively while you sleep, making rest essential, not just for your conscious mind, but for the trillions of cellular citizens that make up your body. The waste products produced by cellular metabolism are carefully managed through elegant recycling systems. Carbon dioxide produced by cellular respiration is carried away by your bloodstream to be exhaled by your lungs. Other waste products are processed by your liver and kidneys, transformed into forms that can be safely eliminated from your body. Even at the cellular level, nothing is truly wasted. Components are broken down, recycled, and used again in an endless cycle of renewal. The resilience of your cellular systems is remarkable. Cells can adapt to changing conditions, repair damage, and even sacrifice themselves for the greater good of your body when necessary. The process of programmed cell death, or apoptosis, allows damaged or potentially dangerous cells to eliminate themselves in a controlled way, preventing harm to surrounding tissues. Rest peacefully tonight knowing that 37 trillion cellular cities are working in perfect harmony to maintain your health and well-being. Each one is a masterpiece of molecular engineering, containing more complexity and sophistication than the most advanced human technology. Together, they create the biological symphony that is your living body. A collaboration so beautiful and precise that it transforms simple chemical elements into the miracle of consciousness, emotion, creativity, and love. Tomorrow we will venture even deeper into the genetic libraries where the instructions for all of life are stored and read. But for now, let yourself be amazed by the cellular universe within you. These microscopic cities that work without rest or complaint to give you every moment of your extraordinary existence.